Greetings everyone, welcome back. It's Fleo and we have another video of So Rare and I am so excited for it. I think it is, in my mind, my favorite week coming up of So Rare. I have put together some really enjoyable lineups and I am hoping they succeed. So let me talk through them and then we're going to compare them to some past lineups of the weekend prior. So obviously we're saying this for the weekend of the 25th to the 1st. And I have, we'll look at game week 246 to see how the top people did and see if mine really adds up. So with that being said, let's get right into it. We'll start with our common lineup. I did not mean to press matches. I meant to press my team. So first, this is our common lineup. Now, normally I do start a lot of Liverpool people because that was initially what I got at first. But with that being said, I did not have, they didn't have a game this weekend, or next weekend. So I'm happy to set a brand new, unique lineup. Now we can talk through some of my options here. So used, we'll say this. Now obviously no one else had a game, so Deturu, he's starting. I hope he can do well. He's been averaging 51-ish points per game. He's playing Atletico, who's been a little underwhelming this season, but still I think he'll do well. But it's a tough matchup. Next we have John Lukumi, I believe is how you would say it. And I chose to start him because, well, I didn't pull him up ahead of time, but I did pull up Nilsson, who, honestly, all things considered, has been playing relatively well, around 47, 40-ish points lately, with a couple of high ones at 60, 66. We'll pull up another tab and just show out where am I? Lukumi, kind of to compare stats and show that in terms of average scores, he's obviously averaging a little better. He's been playing a little bit less, but overall been playing recently. And we can see here, been playing a couple minutes, like a couple full 90-minute games. Now, he didn't play in match week 244, but I think I'll take the risk and start him. Of course, maybe I'm wrong here and it doesn't work out, but I chose to start him over Nilsson. Then next, I also could have, or I guess in this situation, I could have started Skiri or Seawald, but I chose obviously to start Skiri because he's been playing really well. I pulled him lately. He also came off a 91-point game the other day, which is of course brilliant. So I gave him the captain's badge type thing today, or for this matchup here. And then the last thing I guess major decision. I actually had two major decisions left. Here I chose our new addition, Mahmoud Dahoud, who over Nilsson, over some of these other guys that I could have played, because he has been balling out lately. Now a couple lower tier scores. Yeah, he's played 90 minutes most of the games, but he's had a nice stretch of games here where I think he could play well lately. Now maybe he doesn't show up, and maybe I should have started Nilsson or someone of that nature, but I'm happy with it. I tossed him in the starting spot, and then my only other decision I had to make was Ramos over Mbayu. Now I probably would have preferred to play in Dembele, but although it says he has a game, he's actually suspended due to disciplinary action. So starting Ramos, hopefully plays well against Maris. And so that is my common lineup. I'm happy about it. Now we can get to my limited lineups. For the under 23, I didn't have many decisions to make. I believe I had none. Yeah, so I had no decisions to make besides any of the used people, but actually I had one decision to make because I am not using Mason Toy in the USA lineup, and I built this one after the USA lineup, or the Americas lineup for the any divisions there. I apologize. But the only real decision I had to make is starting Luke Browers or Cho Sang-jun. But in my mind, from what my research told me, is that he's actually injured for a little while at the start of the season. So happy with this lineup here. Hopefully it does well. I don't know if these guys will play. I know they all have games, which is exciting. But besides Browers, I don't necessarily know if we'll get a starting lineup out there that does all too well for U23. But the one I am genuinely excited about is the Americas lineup, which not many options besides the one I mentioned, of course, whereas I could have started Toy over Zardes, but I bought Zardes. He's the #1 starter for his team, and I really do think that this is a young but probable lineup to get me a couple points here or there, and hopefully I can get into placing. Now it's into question if James Pantamis will start or play for his team. I will do a bunch of research after our first week of MLS and every team plays. But for now, I'm hoping this lineup does well. Of course, if we go to prize pools, I have one registered in both the America's lineup. I need to place top 500, so that's essentially top 15%, which is not too bad. And then, of course, the Americas one, I need to place the top 24% to get a limited card. So that's honestly great odds if you're interested in under 23. Of course, there's some Ethereum giveaways as well. Hopefully, I can maybe place in both of them, but in my mind, I'm just happy participating in what I can. And then lastly, we'll put or show you my mixed lineups for, or my teams, not prize pools, but my teams. Of course, tossed a bunch of the guys I would plan to use in the future in my first training team. And then I got a bunch of guys I was deciding on in this one and getting all my limited cards used, of course. But here, essentially, Navigata, just a couple guys I threw in there to make sure I didn't end up using like one or two commons that maybe I would have used in the future. But still, I think getting the bonus here is not too shabby. Now, to close it out, I think I have a promising week ahead of me. And we can look at the past scores for the common lineup for 246, in which, can I click on it from here? Or can I pull it up? I can't. But this was the lineup. Oh, it's very easy. Lionel Messi, someone I don't have. So all people I don't have. A bunch of very, very good commons. A bunch of Ligue 1 players, of course. But overall, kind of just getting knowledge that the star players play well. Nothing surprising there. In this one, a very different looking lineup besides Lautaro Giannetti. But overall, kind of just making the right decisions, but also this one is not relying on one major league over the others. And finally, yeah, a couple big names in here. I really hope I can place well in the comments here to get someone like a Lua or someone like a Messi that we saw prior. Pretty good roster. And then for the limited tier, we'll look at the under 23 because the other lineup, the American lineup, I'm basing all off the MLS, which is not started yet. We can see Theo Hernandez, Lafont, just a whole bunch of nice people, like value-wise in here. And I'm curious if, yeah, Lafont had an amazing week, so I would place well. Likely used him. Wirtz even played kind of poorly for him, but he started a nice lineup otherwise. And lastly, Timber, I noticed, was in here. So overall, a pretty good lineup. Maybe I'll end up spending a little bit more here and there in the future. With that being said, that is my lineup for today, my video for today, and I am happy about it. So thank you all for watching. Have an excellent evening, morning, night, whenever you're watching. Peace.